Mexico is a land where color breathes, where memory has a heartbeat, and where joy somehow finds a way to bloom even in the harshest seasons. It is a country shaped by ancient civilizations, shaken by conquest, strengthened by resistance, and illuminated by a spirit that refuses to dim. What makes Mexico extraordinary is not the absence of hardship, but the way its people transform hardship into something warm, communal, and beautiful. Today, as we explore this rich and emotional culture, Mexico offers the world a timeless lesson, the art of celebrating life. There is a feeling you get the moment you step onto Mexican soil, an energy that is vibrant yet calming, chaotic but comforting. It comes from the people. Mexicans carry an emotional strength that is not loud but deeply rooted. Their warmth is not superficial. It comes from centuries of holding each other together, from building families that extend across generations, from finding unity in both joy and pain. Mexico is a country that has learned to keep its heart open, even when life tries to close it. Perhaps nothing reflects the Mexican soul more profoundly than Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. While much of the world approaches death with silence and fear, Mexico approaches it with music, candles, flowers, and love. It is not a festival of darkness, but of remembrance. In Mexico, death is not the end of connection. It is simply a new form of presence, and memory becomes an act of devotion. There is something deeply healing about this tradition. It teaches that grief is not meant to be hidden, that remembering the people we love, even with tears, is a form of celebration. The world can learn from this. Because when we stop running from loss, we begin to understand the true value of life. In Mexico, honoring the dead does not reopen wounds. It gives them light, color, and meaning. And that spirit of celebration does not appear only once a year. It is woven into the everyday life of the country. One of the most defining traits of Mexican culture is the central role of family. In many parts of the world, modern life pulls people apart. Schedules grow tight. Responsibilities grow heavy. Communication grows distant. But in Mexico, family remains the anchor. Grandparents, parents, children, cousins, neighbors, godparents, they are all part of the same emotional network. Sundays are often spent around crowded tables. Meals last for hours, filled with laughter, storytelling, and the simple comfort of being together. If someone is struggling, the family steps in. If someone celebrates, everyone gathers. This closeness is not just tradition. It is resilience. Mexico shows the world that community isn't a luxury. It is a necessity. This sense of unity is reflected in Mexico's celebrations. The country celebrates everything: births, saints, small victories, town festivals, regional holidays, historic moments, religious traditions, and spontaneous gatherings. At first glance, it may seem like an escape, like an attempt to forget the challenges of daily life. But the truth is far deeper. Celebration in Mexico is not an avoidance of suffering. It is an act of resistance. It is a way of saying, life may be difficult, but we will not let difficulty define us. We will sing, dance, gather, and hope, not because life is perfect, but because joy keeps us alive. Walking through the streets of Mexico, you feel that joy everywhere, in the sound of mariachi echoing through plazas, in papel picado floating above markets like colorful butterflies, in murals that tell stories of struggle, survival, and identity, and in the colors that seem to speak. Bright blues, warm yellows, deep reds, vivid pinks. Mexico does not fear color. It embraces it. It paints homes, markets, traditions, textiles, celebrations, and even emotions in bold tones. Because color is not decoration, it is expression. It is a reminder that life should be lived fully, not in muted shades. Food plays an equally important role. Mexican cuisine is a journey through time, a map of ancient ingredients and ancestral practices. Corn, beans, chili, cacao, avocado. These were not simply discovered. They were cultivated by civilizations who understood the land deeply. Every dish carries history. Every flavor carries memory. When a grandmother teaches her granddaughter how to make tortillas, she is not just passing down a recipe. She is passing down identity, pride, and belonging. And when families gather to eat, they are not just feeding their bodies. They are nourishing their souls. In a world where meals are often rushed, isolated, or consumed without meaning, Mexico teaches us something essential. Food is connection. And cooking for someone is an act of love. Another powerful element of Mexican culture is its sense of community. Town squares are alive with conversation. Markets overflow with voices, smells, and spontaneity. People greet each other warmly, even if they have never met. Neighbors talk across balconies. Children play in plazas. Elders sit outside in the evening breeze, sharing stories. And that loneliness, one of the growing epidemics of the modern world, can be softened when people choose to be present for one another. Mexicans are also known for their humor, creativity, and expressive nature. Their art, from Frida Kahlo's emotional self-portraits to the vibrant crafts of Oaxaca, reflects both pain and beauty. Their music, from rancheras to mariachis, carries emotion with sincerity. Their literature, cinema, and festivals celebrate life with intensity and vulnerability. Everything feels honest, human, and heartfelt. What the world can learn from Mexico is not a single lesson, but a philosophy. That life should be honored, not endured. That suffering becomes lighter when shared. That remembrance keeps love alive. That joy is not a luxury, it is survival. Mexico shows us that celebration is not the opposite of struggle. It is the answer to it. Because to celebrate life is not to pretend that everything is perfect. It is to recognize that everything is precious. And so, may this message from Mexico travel far. Celebrate boldly. Remember deeply. Love fiercely. Connect honestly. And live with color, even on the days that feel gray. Because in the end, the true art of living is the art of celebrating life itself.